All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the podcast. We are now on number 7.
Yeah, we're here back inside the scooter shop.
Yeah, we got me and Pytel. We got a couple others here with us. We're getting in the weekly podcast now that we're not traveling and trying to get back on track and get these pumped out for you guys as much as we can.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back here. Yeah, so we just got back from Connecticut. If you haven't yet seen the podcast that we filmed at the Airbnb, or if you haven't seen the Mobile Sunday video, definitely check out the YouTube channel. And by the time this video is out, I feel like the Boston video will probably be out.
No, so this podcast will come out next Wednesday, which is the 14th. And then the Boston video drops the 16th, 2 days after on that Friday.
Wonderful.
So then, yeah, you guys will have this podcast to watch. And then 2 days from now, we're going to be dropping the Boston video. I've just put a teaser of that up on the Instagram today. And that's one video you're not going to want to miss from us this year, because we got our new rider Ryan with us on that one, and a bunch of the other guys from the New England area, and even we had Sterling come in from Texas. But
oh yeah,
that video is really going to be a banger, and I'm hyped for people to see this new direction we're pushing ECX in.
Well said, Wyatt. I mean, with the new push that we're doing for our marketing and for the brand image and all, it really ties into not just where we're going and where we're heading as the industry and the sport continue to grow, but also it ties back to where we've been. ECX has always been team friendly, team heavy. You know, it's always been like a family sort of presence where we go on trips, we're all together, we're trying to build one another up. And so even though, you know, we got the new riders and all this, the new marketing that we're doing, it kind of just ties into everything ECX has always done since day one.
Yeah, I mean, these days kind of remind me of even when I wasn't on the team yet. You know, we're doing a summer tour this year in 2023, but if you go back on the YouTube, you see a summer tour back from 2011.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've talked about that to me in the past, about how you guys all hopped in the back of Mike's Suburban, drove down the East Coast, and just went for it.
Yeah.
In the middle of the summer with a group of guys and your scooters and a couple cameras, and made something great happen. So I'm excited to be able to, you know, hopefully create something close to what that kind of feeling was.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, especially like I think about the 2011 summer tour that we did. I was, 16, 17, something like that.
You guys are sponsored by Vitamin Water.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I know it's 12 years ago, but like the amount Vitamin Water has blown up since then, it's crazy that you guys got to like actually do work with them back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of like a lot of our new marketing, a lot of the new push for our brand is going to be someday working with larger third-party companies like that again sometime. So what we did back then in 2011, what the old owner was able to do with Vitamin Water and that partnership throughout the summer for the summer tour, that is what should have been replicated every year since then. However, the sport, everything fluctuates, so that's not super realistic, but we got to get back to stuff like that, because I think that is what, one, makes big trips like a 2-week tour possible. Yeah. When you're getting like some additional help from a larger third-party company for, you know, things like the gas and hotels and all. Like if those things get covered, then everything else just becomes a lot less stressful.
Yeah, way more accessible for everybody.
And a lot better to plan too.
Yeah, that too. Planning these trips is one big headache, I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah. So a lot of like, we want to get better, you know, more production style videos going, where it's not just like an Insta edit where everybody just does a banger and then it's done. Like, no, we're trying to push into a full length video where we go out, we hit a spot, we hit a city, a skate park, an area, and we film a video the way that it should be. Yeah, no, I mean, that's what it's always been about. I think, you know, we had these last 5-6 years of the Instagram wave, of TikTok wave, of the instant gratification. But I think now everybody's maturing a little bit more, the sport's getting a little bit older, and we're all starting to gravitate back towards the, you know, YouTube edit era, or even Vimeo back in the day. But, you know, something where you put in more time, more effort, and something more than an Insta clip comes out way more beautiful. Like it's a whole different way to consume the sport.
Like I don't want to say people don't put in effort for Instagram clips, because I know some people out there that like go as hard for Instagram that they do for their video part, but like, I don't know, there's just something different about a minute-long Instagram clip of 7 bangers at the skate park that day and going out for a year and filming a project with a group of people.
Yeah. It's kind of like the long-term impact of the clip too.
Exactly.
Like, how often do you go back on your Instagram and genuinely watch all the things that you've posted? Like, it compared to You know, like we can go back, we'll sit often at night and just watch videos from 10 plus years ago, ECX team edits, ECX team tour videos, like edits, our personal edits from years and years ago. We go back and we watch those things. We reflect on those memories, those skills that we had and have developed or lost. I mean, Instagram clips just don't have the same long-term impact that a full length or that just a longer format video have, in my opinion.
I definitely scroll through my Instagram pretty often. Like I'll go back and watch my old clips all the time. But I would never have gone to somebody else's page and just like went through their old clips unless they're like really popular. But I usually don't do that. But
and like
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll go back and look at old clips, but I'm saying I don't sit down in an afternoon and watch all my old Insta clips. Like if I think of something, I'll go back and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. But I'm saying like we'll sit down as like a group of friends, pull up the old YouTube videos, and that's an evening event of watching those things. And also too, like when we add new guys to the team, it's a little bit of showing them the history. And that's something that is important for a company, and you know, obviously more particularly for our company with how long of a history we have in comparison to other shops and other companies in the sport. But just in general for the sport of scootering, everybody needs to be going back and watching the roots. Who was it? Josh Toy recently on Instagram, he's posting like all the old like Razor edits and all that sort of stuff. And all his mindset is correct of trying to educate and show the youth where we came from, remind people, like, because the sport is always going to fluctuate. Back when I was younger, I thought it was all going to be about who can do the most backflips, the most bride flips. And right now, it's not about that. Like, doing a bride flip is not the standard of skill level, you know? Like,
some people think it's like that. Let's put that up. But it's not.
Yes, that was one thing, like, growing up that surprised me was the importance of, like how some people will be riding in switch or the front side, back side, all that sort of stuff. Like, I was very uneducated on that when I started riding, and I had to quickly, very much so, learn all that stuff way later in life than I necessarily, like, should have.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up riding, like, 4 wide decks. So, you know, when 6 wide came out, you never expected to see all these crook grinds or all these 5.0s or anything like that being done because it wasn't even possible 10 years ago. Now with the advancement of all our parts, you know, it makes a whole new world of possibilities for trick selection.
Yeah, I mean, soon we're going to see like 5.0 front flip down a set.
Yeah, like maybe even from Nick. Maybe even from Nick Tedrick if he gets 3,000 comments.
He did.
Yeah, no, he's not going to do it though. He would never. He would break his back.
Davin's behind the scenes. He can't believe he got 3K comments.
Yeah, he ain't doing it.
Nick's sitting there not believing that he got 3K comments.
Oh, I knew he would, bro. All you gotta do is get 30 kids to comment 100 times. Nick can do that easy. He's got pool. But yeah, I mean, speaking of how times have changed with scootering, I even noticed that on our last trip, like compared to the trips we did back in 2019 when it was just me, you, Sam, Chase going up in a car to wherever, and then now it's 12 of us pulling up to a city for multiple days to film an entire street part.
Yeah,
I mean, the tables have turned.
Yeah, no, and I love the direction it's taken. It was like a mini street jam, and it was just the people that we drove up with. Riding through a city with a big group of guys is unreal. I mean, I don't know, for lack of better words, like you almost feel like you just can do anything.
Yeah, you feel invincible.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever been to a street jam or you've ever been out and riding the streets with a big group like that, you know the feeling we're talking about. And it's kind of a euphoric feeling. You're like, okay, this is my city now. I can push wherever I want. I can do whatever I want on this spot. Like,
that's also
in my way because you're so happy. Like,
yeah, that's also the big downside to it though, because that's why people end up getting broke at street jams, is because with that kind of energy, that sort of feeling gets in your head. You're gonna try something big and crazy.
Yeah.
But luckily, we didn't have any major injuries at our trip.
We had a couple.
Major though. No major.
We had a couple minor ones.
We're all gonna get hurt all the time, no matter what. But no major injuries. I'm hype on.
Davin and Evan got it pretty bad at that one spot. They both hugged the rail pretty hard. And
yeah, I
hope Evan's doing good. He had a little worse, honestly, but
yeah,
he sacked one of the rails pretty hard. But he should be doing all right by now.
Yeah, but those rails were insane. I mean,
yeah, to get a clip there, you got to know you're gonna hug the rail at least a few times.
Yeah.
Speaking of that spot, we brought Bo on the trip with us. You know, like whom is Bo Neal? Never mind. No, but yeah, no, we brought Bo with us, and he got one of the gnarliest edit clips I've seen in years.
Yeah, as far as like watching a clip progress in person, probably one of the most impactful clips I've seen in front of my own eyes happened on this trip, which to be able to like be the guy that owned the bus that like allowed him to go and get that feels so awesome, because like I got nothing to do with Bo's riding, I got nothing to do with that clip, but he was there and he got it, and that's gonna forever be in scooter history. And like that's the little bits of if every scooter rider did stuff like that or did their part to make an impact like that, we would have so much more culture, we'd have so much more happening.
Yeah.
And that's why like we're doing, you know, again, why we do stuff like the podcast is just talk about it. Because I feel like too much time has gone where like I haven't been vocal about everything that we got going on behind the scenes. And we really need to start talking about stuff more.
Yeah, I just think it's great that, you know, for a lack of a better word, that you can actually facilitate these things happening. Like we've been talking about it as the year started and, you know, leading up to summer and stuff like that. But we've been able to make these trips happen, make these tricks happen, just make stuff happen. You don't see a lot of people in the scootering industry doing a lot of things anymore. It's really inspiring, not for just us, but I feel like for other people looking in on the company, because they see, you know, these guys set on a mission, they're grinding, they're putting in the work, and they're trying to help other scooter riders progress. And you know, it just gets our sport one step closer to our goal of making it legitimate, making it mature, making adult scootering a thing.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's why we're so big on supporting rider owned, supporting local, because when you do those things, and what we mean by that is supporting local or supporting rider owned, like supporting the shop, it doesn't just mean
liking our posts on Instagram.
Yeah, it doesn't just mean like, oh, liking it, or like I appreciate everybody that comes up to us and they mention like, oh, I'm seeing all your posts, I see you guys are doing so much more, this, that. Alongside with that, though, if you're seeing what we're doing, if you like what we're doing,
get involved.
Yeah, like get involved. You can literally any scooter rider out there. Our sport it's so young. It's in its infancy to where a lot of riders don't fully understand the opportunity that all of us have still to this day.
They don't. I barely do. I barely can grasp the amount of opportunity we have. I'm just going to put it straight. There's so much freaking money laying on the table for scootering, and people are just so ignorant to the fact that they just would rather just, you know, be comfortable doing something else. But there's so much availability to make a career out of this sport, and, you know, we're going to see it come to fruition, but everybody lacking is unfortunately not. And that's just crazy to me that you can't, like I said, I'm seeing the tip of the iceberg, but it goes way deep down, and the possibilities are endless for what you're going to be able to do in this sport. And, you know, I think that's really important for a lot of younger kids to hear, because I didn't hear that when I was 15. You know, when I got into high school and they were like, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to go to college? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't get to hear that stuff. So for us to be able to say that and show people that it's possible to make a living off this and to build something greater than just ourselves, I think is going to be really important in the next coming years.
I feel like scootering, obviously, like being a professional athlete ties very much so in with entrepreneurship. Yeah. And a lot of athletes are not also entrepreneurs. And one thing, like as somebody that very naturally enjoys business and all that sort of stuff, like I just thought that was a scooter thing. I thought every scooter rider was going to be like me. I thought every scooter rider was just ready to run a business. And then very much so, I'm wrong on that. But part of that too, though, is to an extent, if you want to be a pro athlete, you unfortunately do to an extent have to be also an entrepreneur or a business owner, or else it's not going to work. And I think a lot of the people in the sport have the impression that a lot of people with entrepreneurship have. A lot of people that talk about owning their own business, the assumption goes you're either broke or you're rich. And for some reason, people just have this mindset where you can't just like run a business and just be normal. Like you can just make a living and be happy. And that's I think what scooter riders need to set their expectations more on, is a lot of guys view it as I'm either going to make $1 million just for riding and only doing what I want to do, or I'm not going to do anything in the industry. And it's like, I'm sorry, you're not going to get $1 million to ride and do minimal stuff. maybe someday somebody will for being the coolest, most awesome guy, but like
Nope, you won't.
that comes with being like almost
The best.
and well, that comes with being an influencer, not a pro scooter rider.
Exactly. You need
People that make that kind of money are because they are, as a person, like the YouTubers that do well, that are pro scooter riders, that make all their money. They don't make money because they're pro scooter riders.
No.
They make money because they're a full-time celebrity YouTuber.
Exactly.
And that's hard. That's difficult.
Yeah.
And a lot of scooter riders look at it and be like, oh, they're popular on YouTube because they're a good scooter rider. No, they put the work in.
Exactly.
And a lot of scooter riders just want the shortcut. And unfortunately, Instagram caused a lot of that. They see all these bangers. They want to learn a buttercup before they learn how to bunny hop 2 feet off the ground. Like, I'll ride with people. I do lessons with riders. So I know firsthand a young rider, they don't want to practice jumping. They don't want to practice the bunny hop. But if you don't work on the fundamentals, you're never going to get a double whip. You know, like if you don't, I don't know. So I feel like more scooter riders need to understand that you got to put the work in. This sport is not established yet. This industry is not established yet. And when you're going into a young, unestablished industry, it's going to be hard and you're not going to make a ton of money for a minimal amount of work. You're going to make enough money to live by doing a lot of work, but you're going to love it and you're going to enjoy it. But we need more scooter riders doing that, or else the industry will die off. Or like we said in other podcasts, if scooter riders aren't directing the sport and where we want to go, it's going to be directed by the parents or by the youth strictly. And that is going to be fine for scooter kids at the skate park, but it's not going to be fine for the actual sport of scootering. And so like if all of us as scooter riders don't push the sport in the direction that we want it to go, it's going to get pushed by just the parents or the youth that are doing the sport. And that'll be fine for, you know, kids on scooters at the skate park, but it's not going to be fine for 50 years from now, the sport of scootering. And that's what we all really actively need to hands-on tackle. Yeah, so
I agree. And speaking of scooter riders that want to help out, we got Davin here. You've seen him on the podcast before. He's going to hop in, but right before he does, I want to mention in 2 weeks' time, about a week and a half from when you're watching this, we have the Newport Skate Park competition coming up on June 24th. The entire Shop ECX team will be there supporting, competing, entering, judging, whatever. We're all going to be there. It's going to be a great day. I really want you guys to come out. And the day after, we're actually going to do a Mobile Sunday at Wilmington Skate Park. So kind of a back-to-back day type thing that weekend going on. And, you know, if you're local to the area, you're local to New England, North Carolina, Virginia, wherever, if you're around us and you got nothing going on that weekend, even if you do, cancel your plans. Come spend it with us. It's going to be a great time and it's going to be great for scootering. So I can't wait to see y'all there. Thanks for having me on the pod again. I'll see y'all number 8. Here's Davin.
Alrighty, thank you, Wyatt. Alrighty, welcome, Davin Horner to the podcast. Alrighty, hello, Davin. How you doing?
What's up, Pytel?
Not too much. Looks like you just came from work as well.
I did, yes. I'm tired.
Hey, understandable. But yeah, you are judge number 1 for Newport Comp.
I am.
1 of 3.
Yes, I'm excited. It's me, Wyatt, and Joe. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. You guys are like the rock solid official judges for the whole day, and then we'll have a handful of like fill-ins. Like I'll be stopping in to just give my 2 cents, and I know Braden wants to judge a little bit. So there'll probably be like a handful of guys kind of just participating, helping out like always. So that's always good to have the riders, you know, giving back, doing more for the community.
Yeah, I as long as I got a little bit of food and drink, I'm chilling for the day and a decent seat. That's all I really need. But I enjoy it. I always enjoy it. You know, I mean, I don't know how many I've judged at this point, but it's got to be in the double digits at this point.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's important is like you're not trying to go to the comp to compete. You're trying to go to do more for scootering and to help.
Days are past.
Yeah. But you understand that like when you were younger, you wanted to go to a comp to compete and have fun and see your friends and do this and do that. Even if you weren't trying to like necessarily be a competitor in the sport, every young scooter rider has memories of going to contests and doing this and doing that. And you meet friends there, like lifelong friends. Like I remember people that I know from like the old BD comps that I'll still to this day, anytime I'm up in that area, I'll hit people up, see people, and it's like, hey, you know, remember back at BD, this, that. Like,
because BD was more of a local for me than it was for you.
Yeah.
And I actually went to the Morristown one.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Do I remember? You're the one not remembering. We had
don't-
ECX exclusive, rented the entire skate
That must have
park.
been way before.
So it was
I
like
ever even
me-
went to skate parks. Like
Yeah, that was like Upchurch, Hunter Bechtel, Tommy Christiana. Like,
that's crazy.
uh,
That was my first ever 3-bar bar. Was
wow.
there out of the concrete quarter pipe, like right as you walked in.
But yeah, yes. But right before that skate park closed, Mike rented it all out for us because they didn't like let scooters in all the time. I
I
guess.
never knew that. I
Yeah.
really don't think I ever knew that.
Because I guess like right towards the end when they were about to close, they like
It's a
gave
movie
up on
theater
that.
now. That's horrible. You know how upsetting that is? They took a skate park out and put a movie theater in.
That's how it goes.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, anytime I go to a skate park now, every skater or biker there is like, yo, let me ride your scooter. I'm like, yeah? I'm like, it's a little loose. Don't hurt yourself. And then, like, most of them can, like, get close to a tail whip or at least do something on it, which is funny.
Yeah, so Davin came with us up to the Connecticut Rockwell Skate Park Mobile Sunday, as well as shredded with us both days out in Boston for the street video that we filmed.
I got hurt.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, tell us about the injury. Tell us about the trip. Tell us, talk to us, man.
I can't give away too much because of Bo's clip, but it was just a curve right about a foot off the ground. I won't give full details, but I was board sliding it, and I was probably trying it 45 minutes. I didn't get hurt on it at all, and zeeched a little bit on the board and just slipped right out to my side, and they bruised instantly. But Evan took it worse because his was more near his private area. So, I mean, I didn't get it as bad as him, but
It's also bad, like, for riding wise.
I
That's where
could've
there's a
walked.
lot of impact. So, like,
all my weight went into one area,
Yeah.
right on my hip bone.
yeah, but that's on your like
Instant.
exterior, so that's only gonna hurt if you fall on it again. Whereas, like with Evan, anytime he just lands in general,
No, same with me. Like every time I like just moved my leg, like right in my hip, like where it landed, like directly on my hip bone, it hurt.
Gotcha.
I would have rather taken it directly in the stomach. I swear, because I would have been able to ride. I would have sat for like 10 minutes and been fine. But
Yeah. Well, I had the one fall where I just fell back onto my like tailbone.
yeah, I saw the end of that. I didn't actually see it happen. I was filming Ryan.
Have you ever seen Avatar?
Yeah.
Where like the dude
No,
like
somebody explained it to me.
he like
really well.
hits him in the forehead and like his like soul leaves his body. I swear, I hit the ground. My chakras aligned. My soul left. I was gone for a minute because
I believe it. I 100% believe it.
Yeah, so the Boston trip was great, but it's nice to be home because we got all the prep coming up for Newport Comp. But we're doing a Bel Air Mobile Sunday this weekend. We got a lot of riders in that area, so it'll be nice. One, to just do a Mobile Sunday jam in their area, and two, help promote the contest to all the guys in that area. I know I've already seen it and all, but it'll be nice. And then the Mobile Sunday after that, the week before Newport Comp, we're doing another Mobile Sunday at Newport for some additional contest, like a contest clinic I did like 2 weeks ago where I just helped people do their runs and answered any questions about what division they should be in and all that. So we'll do that again on the 18th. And then on Saturday the 24th, obviously, like we talked about, is going to be the Newport Comp. And then that Sunday, everybody that's here for Newport Comp, we're going to have the Wilmington Mobile Sunday. So that way we'll have 2 action-packed days. Huge contest at Newport, Battle Under the Bridge Scooter Comp, and then a nice little chill Wilmington Mobile Sunday the day after. So should be a really fun weekend coming up. And then that's the rest of June. And then July is going to be almost as action-packed, if not more action-packed, because that's when we're going to be starting our summer tour.
See, like I've traveled, like Scootering's taken me a couple places, but like I never thought it would take me like Midwest. I never thought I would be anywhere in the Midwest. Like I've never been to Kentucky. I've been from Maine to Florida, but I've never like traveled that way. So I've always wanted to go to Missouri though. For whatever reason, I've always wanted to go to Missouri. I know like it's some parts are a little sketchy, but any town that we go to is a little sketchy anyway. But I want to film there more than anything.
Wonderful.
In St. Louis, just because all the spots we've seen so far, and I guarantee you we're gonna be able to find stuff in Kentucky.
Yeah,
I might not be able to be there for the whole thing though. I'll probably
I heard
halfway through.
Yeah,
I gotta work, but
hey,
I'll be able to take a full week off. So I mean, I'll be able to have a full week with you guys. So you need somebody to drive the bus. So yeah, me and Wyatt.
Gotcha.
Wyatt will have to take over halfway through.
Yeah, Davin, I would totally agree. I mean, that's one of the great things about scootering is the travel, and scooter travel is so unique because a lot of times when I hear about people like going someplace for a vacation or for a trip or something like that, they're going to like a tourist spot or a resort or something that's more structured. And scooter travel is so much more free. Like you have a destination or like a skate park or a spot in mind, but overall, like you get to explore when you're stopping. Like you get to dive into a city or an area more than just a tourist would. Like when we travel, I mean, we're checking out like behind the shopping centers, not the tourist spots, you know. We're checking out the little like nitty-gritty alleyways in between the buildings looking for, you know, a rail or a ledge or some transition to hit up. So scooter travel is just unique. It's so much fun. It's just pure freedom.
I swear, like there's something I want to do. It's like if before we go somewhere, we just like hit Street View, just like around the area, like of where the general area where you can see so much stuff, and I never realized that, but like you can actually see so much stuff just from that, and then you can find the area. But like we usually just find stuff just driving around.
Yeah,
and that's what I want to do. Like when we're on that tour, like obviously we're gonna have like certain spots, but like there's just gonna be times where I just want to straight up just drive behind something because like there might be something there that nobody, like even that area, knows about.
And that's what's always funny too. Like I remember Sterling at the North Carolina bus trip, one of those tours. We stopped like it was like a banked loading dock behind a building.
Nothing front scooter.
Yeah, and it was just funny because there was like the workers like on their like smoke break, just like sitting there watching, and like stuff like that's always just funny. Like they go to that job every single day, and then randomly one day they're just like on their break, and somebody's just like jumping a scooter off the loading dock. It's just funny.
I was hyped for Boston. I'm more hyped for the summer tour. I'm actually looking more forward to that than anything. I'm hyped for the comp. We got a lot going on. There'll be plenty more coming too, so I'm hyped.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Super excited. Yeah, we've had a jam-packed couple of months and more to come. And yeah, we're not slowing down. So thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. This was podcast number 7. Stay tuned next week for number 8.
Peace out.